Hydroponic farming has been gaining popularity over the past couple of years. This technique makes use of water-soluble nutrient mixtures for growing fruits, vegetables, or flowering plants. In hydroponics, the plant roots get direct contact with the water-soluble nutrient content, and this helps in faster absorption and growth of the plant. The idea of hydroponic farming is believed to serve two purposes. One is that it can be practiced by people to grow fresh fruits and vegetables where the soil condition is not suitable for conventional farming, and the second purpose being that it is a solution for satisfying sustainable food requirements in urban areas where the land for conventional farming is not easily available due to other commercial businesses. This farming technique is environment friendly as there is no use of chemicals in the form of pesticides and insecticides. Growing plants hydroponically needs an environment which can be controlled according to the specific plant's requirements. Many people are showing interest to set up hydroponic systems at their homes. Hydroponics is suitable for commercial food producers and hobbyist gardeners alike. Hydroponics possesses several advantages over a soil medium. Unlike plants which grow in soil, plants grown in a hydroponic system do not need to develop extensive root structures to search for nutrients. It is easier to test and adjust pH levels within hydroponics than it is within a soil medium. In the hydroponic methods, plants are raised in an inert and perfectly pH balanced growing medium from 5.5 to 6.5 pH, where the plants only need to expend minimal energy to acquire nutrients from the roots. The energy is then saved by the roots and is better spent on fruit and flower production from the crop. While advanced hydroponic systems remain impractical for some developing regions, there are alternative, simplified hydroponic growing systems. Such a system is accessible with training and a small initial investment. Yields from simplified systems are lower than advanced systems, but still outperform traditional farming methods and use 80% less water. Simplified hydroponics can be taught to farmers and individuals with no prior knowledge. These farmers can generate income from small plots of land with vertical farm tools, even in urban areas. New jobs and farms supported by hydroponics contribute to a green economy. Though there are no set costs for hydroponics, the startup costs can be estimated according to how technologically advanced the garden will be. There are low-costing hydroponic system options for those that are just learning or have a small area for gardening. On the other hand, hydroponics can be used by commercial farmers all year round due to technological advancements within climate-controlled devices. There are 6 main hydroponic systems that can range in price and size from hobbyists to commercial growers. These 6 systems are deep water culture, nutrient film technique or NFT systems, aeroponics, wicking, EBB and flow, and the drip system. Firstly, the deep water culture, also known as the reservoir method, is by far the easiest method for growing plants with hydroponics. In a deep water culture hydroponic system, the roots are suspended in a nutrient solution. An aquarium pump oxygenates the nutrient solution. This keeps the roots of the plants from drowning. The primary benefit of using a deep water culture system is that there are no drip or spray emitters that can possibly clog. This makes the deep water culture an excellent choice for organic hydroponics, as hydroponic systems that use organic nutrients are more prone to clogs. Secondly, the nutrient film technique, or NFT system, is a type of hydroponic system where a continuous flow of nutrient solution runs over the plant's roots. This type of solution is on a slight tilt so that the nutrient solution will flow with the force of gravity. This type of system works very well because the roots of a plant absorb more oxygen from the air than from the nutrient solution itself. Since only the tips of the roots come in contact with the nutrient solution, the plant is able to get more oxygen, which facilitates a faster rate of growth. Thirdly, aeroponics is a hydroponic method by which the roots are misted with a nutrient solution while suspended in the air. There are two primary methods to get the solution to the exposed roots. The first method involves a fine spray nozzle to mist the roots. The second method uses what is called a pond fogger. Wicking is one of the easiest and lowest costing methods of hydroponics. The concept behind wicking is that there is a material such as cotton that is surrounded by a growing medium with one end of the wick material placed in the nutrient solution. The solution is then wicked into the roots of the plant. Another method is an EBB and flow hydroponic system, also known as a flood and drain system. This system is great for growing plants with hydroponics. This type of system functions by flooding the growing area with the nutrient solution at specific time intervals. The nutrient solution then slowly drains back into the reservoir. The water pump is hooked to a timer, so the process repeats itself at specific intervals so that the plants get the desired amount of nutrients. Finally, the hydroponic drip system is rather simple. A drip system works by providing a slow feed of nutrient solution to the hydroponics medium by using a slow draining medium such as rock wool, coconut coir, or peat moss. The next few clips are of an interview that I conducted with Mr. Ali Amir Latifi. Mr. Ali Amir Latifi is the CEO of Evergreen Farms Oy in Tampere, Finland. Evergreen Farms have the world's highest crop production per meters squared and per meters cubed. Evergreen Farms won the Best Indoor Farming Innovation Award for their technological advancements in vertical indoor hydroponic farming that produces high-quality fruits and vegetables among over 600 other companies. The competition that they entered was the Global Forum Awards for Innovations in Agriculture on the 5th and 6th of February of 2018. Enjoy the interview. I am with Mr. Ali Amir Latifi, the CEO of Evergreen Farm Oy. I have a few questions to ask you about Evergreen's present state and what your hydroponic farming in the future entails.
All right. First of all, thank you for coming to Evergreen Farm. I'm going to explain to you basically how I started and why did I come to this part. About 6 years ago, one of my daughters, she's in love with strawberries. So I used to buy about 200 kilograms of strawberries per year and freeze them. And it was costing a lot of money, and by March she would finish the strawberries. So I went and bought about 300 plants and planted in the back of the house. And before the berries were ready to be picked up, about 50 crows, they came and they ate everything. So it was devastating to my daughter and to me as well. And I started thinking, how can I produce vegetables or fruits that I could save them without animals being, taking all the fruits. So in my basement, I started doing the system, and it worked. And from there on, I had very much difficulties with the government and the authorities because they didn't believe in such a system. But after pursuing and pushing on them for 3 years, finally I managed to make them understand. And by that time, I already had the prototype of this system running, so I could show them that it works. Now we are in the stage that almost every week we have visitors from government officials that they come and showcase the system to people around the world. What I've managed to do is that producing all types of fruits and vegetables and flowers in a very small area. For example, the system you see behind us, it's only 9 square meter. It's 1.5 meter by 6 meter by 2.5 meter high, and we have 2,160 plants. The same amount of plants, if you would put it in horizontal systems, you would need something about 260 square meter of space. Also, the water usage, it's enormous in soil base and in other systems. What I have done, I took all the issues with other systems and tried to fix them. One of the biggest problems is humidity. Humidity, first of all, it hurts the plants. Second of all, it's very costly to take it away. So by creating this system that is fully closed, we actually produce the humidity that the plant needs, which is about 70%. And we don't have as much as loss of water as other systems have. So we only use water, which is the weight of the plant, plus 10% extra. The other thing is that I have 5 inventions that I'm working side by side. This is one of them. The reason I came up with other 5 inventions is that later I figured out, okay, even though I'm using only 17 lights, total electric consumption of 3.1 kilowatt per hour. Again, the same amount of plants, you would need 340 lights if they would be horizontally layered. So then I start thinking, what can I do about the light? And now I have a solution for the light that doesn't produce heat, and I could play with every nanometer, every wavelength that is required for the plants. In the world right now, we have over 10 to 12 different nanometers that are capable of working, but not every plant likes those wavelengths. The sun has many, many different wavelengths. The plant, the reason why, if you look at the plant, the leaf is very shiny, but the back of it is very dull. The reason for that is that to get rid of those other wavelengths, like UV, one of them, that the plant doesn't need. So with creating that light solution, now I could play and create templates for every plant. Meaning we could create the atmosphere and the needs of the plant for every different species. After that, I realized, okay, we still need to spend electricity, which is still minus 3.1 kilowatt, and if you compare it with soil farmer or other system, we are way, way lower. But still, it's use of unsustainable products. So I came up with a solar wind technology that it sits on top of your building, and it uses your exhaust system. Every building has an air circulation system, or factories, they have exhaust. So you could redirect that towards the fins of the system and have 24 hours of rotation. So when you have the rotation, you create AC electricity with the generators. I'm developing a new system that I could produce all types of grain and cereal, such as rice, wheat, oat, and forage for animals. And by doing that now, I connected myself with United Nations, World Food Organizations, and trying to implement the systems locally in all the countries that are really in need. I just signed a deal with government of United Arab Emirates. We're going to do piloting with them and to create fully sustainable systems for them, that we could take the humidity from the air and produce water. What my system can do is that anywhere in the world you put it, it will use the resources of the country and turn it back to something that we could use. For example, in United Arab Emirates, they have a lot of sun, so we take the sun, transfer it to energy, we take the humidity from the air and make water, and so on. So I have signed, and we are in process of negotiation with many countries around the world. My main focus is for the countries that are really in need. My main goal is to help the immunity. So I'm more focused in Middle East and African countries. And from there on, my focus right now is with all the governmental level, because I feel that if we bring the knowledge to the authorities, it spreads down. Here in Finland, I'm putting 2 systems like this in the schools free of charge. My ultimate goal is to put one of the system in every school free of charge, so the kids, they can learn, the teachers can teach, they could have fresh fruits and vegetables during lunch, and the extra they could sell, learn marketing and sales, and the money that they receive, they could use it for their activities. Here in this factory that you came, we are doing circular economy. That means we are about 25 companies now. There is a biochar company next door. We take their CO2, we have a pipe underground that comes in here. We use their CO2 and their biochar, we mix it with moss as a substrate. And we give our waste to a biogas company. They make gas out of it, and we get back the nutrition. Then there is another company here that they use human waste and make nutrition. So we are trying to implement all this together and make this community, which we are the first in the world right now, that trying to use each other's waste and creating produce. Soon when this housing gonna come around here in Hydroponics and the tram and all this, we be ready to connect all the sewage and all the waste from garbage or whatever to our companies around here and produce food and energy and so on. So this is the goal I'm heading at, and as I said, we have a lot of interest worldwide, and right now at this moment I own the highest production of crops per square meter and cubic meter. And this is a true vertical hydroponic, which means that you just put systems on top of each other. Others, what you call it, the vertical, it's horizontally layered on top of each other, which means they have limit to so much they can go. We have no limit. We could go as high as the ceiling is. Next door to us, we have a 30-meter building height that we are in negotiation with City of Tampere to purchase that building. So we use the old buildings and show the world that it's possible to do in all old and left out buildings. We could put about 400 of these units in there. We could produce up to 4 million kilos of crops per year. Right beside it, there is a water waste recycling system that is underground, so we're going to use that and make it a fish farm. So then we could connect the water from the fish, the waste, it would come and feed the plants, so it becomes aquaponics. The differences between all these aquaponics, hydroponics, aeroponics, fog ponics, they are coming with names every day, but the end result is to hydrate the roots of the plant in different types. I like more the hydroponics because I have tested here with aeroponic and hydroponic. Aeroponic, the problem is that in case of any failure, electricity cut, water cut, any type of failure, the plant has about, I would say 5 to 10 minutes before it dies, because the root is wide open and you're feeding just nutrition over the roots. But hydroponics, which is this one right now, we have peat moss and biochar mix as a substrate, so they hold the water much longer. So in case of any failure, we could save the plants. They will stay alive for about 5 to 7 days without any water or electricity. So these are the big differences, but at the end of it, all these other names, it comes to hydrating the roots of the plant. We license and sell the systems worldwide. The reason for licensing is that I use everything organic, organic nutrition, organic matters like biochar and bigness. So I want to keep it that way. So we would have a control over it, that everybody that wants to grow crops, they make it as organic as possible. But with the license, we sell it worldwide, and we support it 365 days.
So what are the highest yielding crops to grow, like vertical farming wise?
It all depends what you want to grow. Like for example, strawberry has 600 different species, right? So if you want to grow, let's say, strawberry that looks good but has no taste, I am not into that. I am into the food has to taste well, good. So we are growing, for example, these are rhea plants. With my system, I could grow anything I want up to 30 centimeter diameter, right? Strawberry, the good thing about it is it gives you runners. These are runners. It's a brand new, another new plant from the mother. And as you can see here, we are growing our runners. So what we do, we put a small bag underneath it. The root starts to grow inside the bag, like this one here. You see, the runner continues. Then we're going to cut these out. Once the root shows itself inside there, we cut it off from the mother plant and we replant them. So you never have to buy new plants again. For the first 2 years, you sell the extra plants. The third year, you keep them for yourself to start a fresh system. For lettuce, for example, we could do 18 harvests per year at 100 grams per lettuce. That's the legal weight in EU. Every species has different dates, right? Strawberries, we could get minimum 6 harvests per year, so that's 6 times 2,160 at an average of 900 grams per plant. So that's why we can produce so much, because we are in a short area. I have about 25 different sensors and actuators that controls the system. When, for example, the temperature goes too high inside the system, a valve opens and starts mist with air together, so it cools down the place. We also have sensors inside the cylinder, so we know the temperature and humidity of inside the cylinder. So that's how we can control and make sure that every plant gives you the ultimate result.
I'd just like to thank you once again for this opportunity to interview.
No problem at all. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Hydroponics can be as simple as growing a single plant in a hand-watered bucket or nursery pot with no automation, electricity, or grow lights required. But when you start to add in the ideas of timers, pumps, and oxygen pumps, that's where it starts to become challenging and expensive. Hydroponic systems can be a great solution to increase the amount of organic food farmed locally in Bermuda. Hydroponics makes efficient use of land because these plants can grow indoors. Vertical farming would be the best solution to maximize the amount of organic food. Vertical farms take up minimal space but maximize the production of fresh and healthy organic food. If enough people were to start hydroponics in Bermuda, there would be a lower demand for imported organic goods from abroad. Hydroponics can be farmed all year round, and a vertical farm uses on average about 4 times less space than a traditional farm and uses 90% less water for the same plants that are grown using conventional farming methods. With the use of hydroponics, there is greater food quality. This is because the hydroponic plants do not require the need to be sprayed with pesticides or insecticides. Finally, hydroponic plants can grow up to 50% faster than those planted traditionally in soil. In conclusion, hydroponics can contribute to the solution of the growing demand for organic, locally grown produce in Bermuda.